Honestly, I feel like I'm doing a clock challenge. Like, how many clocks can you have in the frame at once? I wanted to talk about some things that happened to me last year. I'm actually not gonna go into super detail about those things because they were actually another family member's story that they can tell, but I was impacted a lot by everything that happened. It actually inspired me to come back to this YouTube channel after so many years of taking a break because I was scared of what other people would think about me doing this. And no, I didn't care about random people online. I didn't care about what people that I went to school with would think about me if they found this channel. Honestly, I didn't care about any of that. There was a select group of people who I was scared if they found this channel. But honestly, going through what I went through last year made me realize that my perspective about fear and scarcity was wrong. It really shifted my perspective. I felt called to make this video today. I can't give you an exact reason why. I just felt like I needed to share this message. This is a sign right now that you are in control of your legacy. So if there's something that you've always wanted to do, if there's something that is attached to how people will remember you in the future, and you haven't done it yet because of fear, this is your sign to do the thing that you've always thought about doing. Okay, for a moment there, I felt like I was Gary Vee, and this was a Gary Vee video. I actually love his channel. I haven't really watched him too much lately, but a couple of years ago, I definitely did. If you want more videos similar to this, I would recommend checking out his channel. Although I also do emotional check-in videos, which I feel like are often a lot like this. This video today is not that. I spent some time visiting a nursing home last year, and it really shifted my perspective about what's truly important in life. It's not necessarily the way that other people think about you, and I'm not talking about necessarily your close family or your close friends, because obviously there's a time where you can reminisce on everything that you did when you're younger. I think that that is important when you're older. But what I am talking about is what your acquaintances think about you. What people in your neighborhood maybe that you don't really know, what they think about you doesn't really matter when your physical capacities get shortened, when you're not able to be independent, when you're cooped up in some sort of communal setting, when you need care from another person. What the people around you, what your peers thought of you in the past, no longer really matters. So you shouldn't think about what your peers are gonna think about you if you do this. You shouldn't think about that at all, because at the end of your life, it's what you think about, your legacy, that's going to really matter. I believe now that the older that you get, the more introspective life in general becomes. So it's not so much about whether you kept up with your neighbors or what your reputation was in high school. I mean, sure, those are gonna be a few cute stories that you can tell with people around you, but what's really more important is what you did with your life after high school, after college, what you did to stand out in the world. And with today's social media technology, making your mark on the world is so much easier to do now than it has been in any other previous generation. I think that that should really inspire you to go on with whatever your hobby is. And I'm not saying that every hobby deserves monetization, but you can record and make keepsakes of memories of whatever it is that you're doing right now. You need to record yourself when you're younger, because now video, even the video that we have on our phones, is just so much better quality than it's ever been in the past. So maybe the future generation would actually be interested in looking back on what our generation did when we were younger. I mean, that's not a guarantee, but it's more accessible now to future generations than it ever has been before. So you need to record your story in order to affect future generations. I'm not necessarily saying that everyone's true calling is to be some sort of media spokesperson about whatever interests them, but it's super easy to do now. It's easier than it ever has been before. Even in the early 2000s, camera phones were pretty rare. Phones that actually had internet were pretty rare. I know because I was actually around in Y2K. I also really would not recommend putting off your dreams or your goals because you never know how many days of independence you're actually gonna have on this earth. No one ever plans to go into some sort of communal care situation where their independence is limited, but it happens a lot more often than people think. Your health is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that you're going to live for 100 years and be able to be super independent for all of that time. Nobody is promised tomorrow, so if there is something that you want to do, if there is an impact that you want to make on the world, you are better off not putting it off. My experience last year completely shifted my perspective and really motivated me to come back to this platform in particular because this has always been my dream. This was my one true dream job when I was 9, and that never changed for me. Whatever it is that you thought about when I started talking about my story is what you need to delve into. You do not need to stagnate on your plans or your goals for whatever your passion is. If you already know what it is that makes you want to live, that makes you feel the most alive, you need to really do that. If it affects your legacy, that needs to be the focus of your days. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. It's probably a little bit of a shorter video because I didn't want to get specific about what motivated me to come back to YouTube, but I still wanted to spread this message because I felt like it could help other people. Stay beautiful.